Hey everyone, my name is chaoticwolph and welcome back to Homestuck Act 5, Act 2. We had a lot of tragic stuff happen? I don't know, man, like... Rose went grimdark because she found out, you know, the poor innocent parents have been killed by Jack Noir, and then she met up with John, but there were like some weird communication issues going on because she was like speaking gobbledygook monster talk. And then John died in round 1 against Jack Noir, and then, I don't know, Jack and Rose clashed, and then we jumped away to the others. So before John did all that, he gave the tumor mission to a WV and company, and then Terezi was talking to Dave, but now she's going to go on her mission to subdue Vriska? I don't know how she's gonna do that, but for now, we gotta exit. This is the weirdest looking door ever. This is like some weird old game, the way it goes. Oh, look at that. End of year 2. Oh, what's this? Remove this? Oh. Okay, so 2009 to 2011. Whoa. Remove this one. Oh. Wait, this is the reader doing it? Insert this too. Bizarre. This too is missing! Oh no! Oh no! Well, no more Homestuck. This too is missing. Keep playing anyway. I don't think that's how games work! You have no idea what the hell this thing is, or why you would need another disc? You just capture log it and proceed. There's justice to be done. And you are running out of time. Oh my god. Freaking kids these days, they do not know about having to switch discs for games, man. Back in the PlayStation days, man, you want to play like a long game? That's like 4 discs right there. Ridiculous. Terezi, proceed. This is not me proceeding, right? Is it? Is it actually me? Oh, Jesus Christ! You scared me! Objection! You cannot control Terezi. How can you possibly expect to play this game when you have lost the game disc? All you can do is watch what she decides to do. Okay, click. What, jeez. I feel like I just got punked there. You find a note stuck to the floor with Nepeta's claw. It appears to be addressed to you, written on a page torn from the journal of Vriska's ancestor. Her taunts are becoming increasingly flagrant. Is it a taunt from her? It also appears to be written in purple blood. She wouldn't dare harm sweet, precious Gamzee, would she? Oh my god. Terezi, if only you knew. The dot is almost more than you can bear. Also, precious Gamzee. I mean, he was precious when he was the old Gamzee, but not this one. You are going to throw the book at her. I can't click on this. Is it over? I think it's over. Terezi, read note. Oh, the trap. It was a trap! Oh, goodbye. Whoa. We're in, Gamzee's shop. Yeah, this was less creepy when it was old Gamzee. Oh. Wait, is the flash not over, or are we actually supposed to do stuff? I don't think so. I think this is it. Terezi, wake up. Good music though. You cannot wake up because you are not actually asleep. You were just taking a breather in this nice cozy pile of horrifically mutilated scale mates, which were gathered here to break your fall for some reason. You wonder where you are. This is a fancy looking room. It doesn't look like a place you would expect to find on this meteor, at least not in any strictly canonical capacity. Terezi, examine surroundings. Oh, is it Gamzee? The shadowy figure. Yeah, it's pretty sure it's Gamzee. This dapper kiwi-suited gentleman is quite familiar. You're almost positive he made an appearance in that very crowded dream you had recently. Where did he go? Something in this room smells funny and fast. Terezi, climb stairs. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty sure Gamzee didn't die because, you know, Kanaya just kind of kicked him in the balls and then he fell down some weird cliff. But, you know, that's not gonna kill him. You cannot ascend. The staircase is suffering from a catastrophic horn clog. Damn it, Gamzee! Clean that mess up. Terezi, exit door. I probably can't exit that either, it's not a real door. The door is locked. You will either need a key or to break it down with force. You would need to achieve an especially heightened state of determination. Determination? To pull that off though. And the password page again. Which I still do not know the password yet. Why does the password page keep coming up to taunt me though? You've been completely hornswoggled. This whole thing was a setup from the start. A trap deployed by a cunning mastermind. All of the clues are adding up. The blood, the note, the flagrant displays of tricksterism and japery. The identity of the puppet master behind all of this is now painfully obvious to you. Is it really though? Spider troll. I really feel like that's not really something she would do. She's more like an in-your-face kind of person, I feel like. Terezi played records. Who is actually playing records? Troll cops. Ooh. Snazzy crime-solving music. Oh, I like this. I like it, I like it. This one has a slower start until the climax part. This is for those moments where you come upon a room in disarray and you're investigating stuff. And a dead body. Wondering who the murderer is. Rumble at the rink. This is the bar fight. Where you finally confront the murderer and you take them down. A labeled record. This is like the aftermath after you capture the murderer and you close the case and you're like wondering, did I do the right thing? What is my life? Did I make the right choice by becoming a detective? Because the murderer has some sad story, you know, and you capture them, you put them in jail, or they kill themselves and you feel bad now. X-ROM. I don't know what this is. This is just RPG music. Yeah, that one's just RPG music. I'm a member of the Midnight Crew. Is this the same song? Sounds different. The one that's like something member of the Midnight Crew. What the hell? Actually, lyrics. It does not sound like the same song. Little wife along. See that line? It sounds different. This is weird. I'm a member of the Midnight Crew. Oh, this is weird. Okay, what music should I set for like the background as I read this? You know what? We'll just leave at this. You select appropriate crime-solving music to set the right mood. With this kind of atmosphere, it is highly unlikely that any crime will stay unsolved for long. Terezi, remove Midnight Crew record. What's the use of the No, this vaudevillian cornball nonsense will not do at all. The mood is just not right for figuring out crimes. I'm telling you, put that what was it? Was it the unlabeled? No, hold on. What was the one that I said was like where you're like looking to the crime scene? Put that one on. You put the record back in his sleeve. Terezi, examine cover. This is the cover? What is that? W? H? O? An apostrophe maybe? Whose? this? Douchebag? Oh, it's that guy. Who's this douche? Bag. No idea. The author of this album, apparently. Before you can make heads or tails of who exactly this douchebag is, something rolls out of the sleeve. It appears to be a very small record. It's so small. What is such a small record doing in this great big sleeve? Is it the second disc? Oh, we're still here. You got Homestuck disc too! Yay! You cannot get over how tiny this record is. It's adorable. You wonder what sort of music it plays. Terezi, play tiny record. Jeez, what the hell? So I can't read it or what? That sound just now was so surprising and scratching to the ears. Oh, you literally caused a scratch. Great! Great! Predictably, you scratched the surface of the disc. What were you expecting? It's almost like you don't even know what a CD is. With the disc damaged, who knows what sort of effects it will have on the data. Uh-oh. Better store it somewhere safe to prevent any more mishaps. Too late. Terezi, capture log disc. It caused like a weird Z across it. It should be perfectly safe from any similar kinds of damage while secured in your scratch and sniff modus. Terezi, examine chest. It's a big chest here, man. You have spent way too much time calibrating the ambience of your investigation and not nearly enough time investigating. It is one of the most common pitfalls to being an investigator, aside from literal pitfalls, which you actually fall into, and you actually did fall into one. There are 2 chests in this secret room. Nothing out of the ordinary. Chests are everywhere in this lab, and people find it all too tempting to sneak their personal belongings into them for safekeeping. That is, until the goods are stolen shortly after by those who can't resist looting every chest they encounter, which is everybody. True, true, true. Maybe these ones contain clues? Or murder items? Yeah, like murder trophies, if you know what I mean. Terezi, open chest. Hey, isn't this your... Oh, this is not the dragon suit, this is something else. You got your neophyte red glare role-playing outfit. What is this doing in here? You've not worn it since your flarping days. The only part of it you kept on hand was the stylish pair of glasses, which of course since the incident has managed to become a regular accessory. But you cannot imagine how someone could have gotten their hands on the rest of it. Surely a crafty and resourceful criminal is at work. Spider troll, spider troll, spider troll. I feel like at this point, Terezi, you're just kind of biased and blaming her for everything. Terezi, wear a suit. Snazzy. You don the garb of the legendary Legislacerator. It brings back memories of many successful fantasy prosecutions, resulting in the real executions of rival players. Those were the days. Terezi, open another chest. Those were them days, executing real-life people for fake court drama. You got your Pyrospite plush. Pyrospite was your scale-mate sidekick during your campaigns. He was the model of loyalty, friendship, and righteous retribution. More than could be said for another partner in justice? There's no doubt about it anymore. She is clearly baiting you into confrontation. You mean... baiting. Terezi, hug Pyrospite. Squeak. It's probably like the only scale-mate still alive at this point. The other ones are like torn to shreds. You embrace your old friend, releasing a mighty and majestic squeak. It has been too long, old friend. You vow never to let him out of your scent Oh no, honk! Rude! Give it back! Give it back, Gabsy, I don't want this creepy-ass little cow. This puppet is becoming a nuisance. It appears to exhibit the same incredible puppet fastness properties which Dave's had. Must be some form of universal puppet enchantment. It couldn't possibly be the same one, because that would just be insane. Hey, where did Pyrospite go? Terezi, look up. Probably is the same one. This panel thing is still here. There he is. How'd he get all the way up there? He has always been quite the slippery scalawag. Maybe he was reminding you to check out the note. You almost forgot it was up there, what with all your furious investigating. Most of which has involved fooling around with records, hugging plush toys, and cosplaying as a childhood heroine. Terezi, read it. Maybe it depicts what has happened. Just as you thought, it is a message from Friska summoning you to do battle. It is written in Gamzee's rich jelly-smelling blood, but it is her handwriting for sure. How do you know? You can smell it? Her quirk is present, leaving the matter undebatable. I mean, someone could copy that, just saying. But why the hell does she want you to bring this stupid puppet along? She's so weird. There is a journal entry on the back. It probably isn't the slightest bit relevant to the current situation, but you guess it couldn't hurt to read it anyway. Terezi, examine journal entry. What does it say? I suppose I'll have to get used to writing with this hand instead. I now do so in captivity, while I bring my awe to bear on the immensity of the subjugulator's hijinks. Hijinks? Like hijinks or hijinks? I took their gesture as playing a vowel of my prosecution's futility. With a lone neophyte assigned to the task, how could I view it otherwise? I was sure they'd drawn from the bottom of their deck, not intending to squander more competent mercenaries on one who made a show of outclassing them all before. But I discovered too late that Red Glare was their wild card all along. How is one allowed to be raised by a dragon in this era, let alone one of such middling blood? The sickly hue of a gutless civil servant. Those of her caste are typically pleased to mount a sluggish koala bear, or some brainless squawking spleen fowl during petty expeditions to plaster seizure notices on Gamblignant property. By what fluke was this woman granted such a weapon, permitting her to luxuries in these delusions of righteousness? Something blocked the light of the unbidden moon, treating the harbor to darkness more grim than what fell this season's apogee. I made the mistake of looking into its eyes, each like a sun concentrated into a small jewel, as two hot garnets searing through a black veil. I shut mine quickly, but the more sensitive of them was burned irreparably. When I regained sight in the other, there was only red. My fleet was in flames. The neophyte was on deck. Pyrospite, she mentioned through her ridiculous forced grin. She wanted me to know the name of the beast which was able to consume my Lucis whole. My dice were in the hold below. Not that my present luck would consent to a favorable roll anyway. I made a move for my blade. She took my arm, which I'm sure she kept as the tiniest of snacks for her obstentious custodian. Maybe she meant to prove she wouldn't need me in irons to have my submission? Bound or free? 2, 1 or none? I wonder how well she knows it's not what I do with my arms she has to fear. I await my trial. This is the journal of her ancestor. This is not Friska's. Well, this is not written by her, I mean. Insert this too. She actually has a PC to insert it into? Oh wow. It's like a page within a page. Okay guys, the last page was supposed to redirect to this page, I believe, but it redirected it to the old site, which was like broken as of this recording, so I just clicked on this manually. But I think it was supposed to redirect here. Sierra Sen, which is like Rose or Terezi? She's definitely ascending. This is like parallel to when Dave ascended those stairs. I think this is the history of your ancestors. Look, history is repeating itself. Wait, so she did send her a challenge letter. I thought that was Gamzee messing around. She did send her a challenge letter. Why? Why is she causing drama again? She just loves all that stuff, you know. This is Rose. This is, oh god, who is it? No, this is her, isn't it? Isn't it? So much stuff going on all at once. Much fanfare was made of the trial, more than I would have dared to hope. It seems my luck has been returning of late. Nice. Showdown time. Where did Kanaya go, though? The High Bloods surely intended to make a spectacle of my conviction. They filled the court block with peasants, ravenous for the comeuppance of the blue blood. I wasn't about to deny them what they came for. It was kind of the authorities to supply me with phalanx of such impressionable spectators. The weak wills were nearly as thick in the air as the rust in their veins. Funny how my other senses seem to have peaked since exchanging glances with the dragon. What an extraordinary specimen. How I've come to covet the creature since it ruined my fleet. I know too well the whispers of a dangerous new infatuation when they beckon, but I digress. Is she controlling all of them? It was simple enough to nudge the hostility of the low bloods from one aristocrat to another. The subjugators could not have been pleased, but nor could they have been altogether unamused, I would expect. I wonder if this was part of their unfathomable game. I'll never understand their riddles. What is happening? Did they throw her into the crowd? I only regret I didn't get to hear the opening statement the neophyte had prepared against me. The case she compiled from all the evidence she burned must have been damning. I bet her remarks would have stung worse than when she severed my arm. She certainly would have shown me greater mercy by taking the other instead. Alas, I mocked to disguise the extent of my regret. Had my escape not necessitated her demise, she would have made a lovely rival. If she only discarded her childish preoccupation with justice, we might have made a striking scourge. Had we inched blacker, we have torn red miles across the land and sea. Unfortunately, the only miles to be found through her bureaucratic calling were those of red tape. When so ensnared, one is eventually bound to be choked. With the court block cleared, all that remained to obstruct my freedom was his honorable tyranny himself. What? Upon reflection, red glare showed the foresight of a true seer in thieving my arm before the trial. Holy damn. It permitted a fair fight. Someone's cocky. Though I was free, I had no fleet, no matter. With the Gamblingtons decimated, I embraced the turn in fortune and pledged to put my sea-grifting ways behind me. With any luck, the skies would be my future. My thoughts again returned to that dragon. But first, I was in need of temporary refuge. I sought it with the expatriate. He owed me for the sweeps of protection I provided after his brazen defiance of the High Bloods. It was perhaps the only such courageous stand ever taken against a superior by one of his supercilious pedigree, and I had not bothered sticking my neck out for another. But the admiration he won naturally wore thin as he persistently bemoaned his treason and banishment, and I was saddened to find this habit holding strong, even now. I wonder if he still believes she was worth it. What? Who's that supposed to be? Repairing my arm would go a little further in squaring his debt with me. Even if I came with both intact, I might have ripped one off and put him to the task just to halt his blubbering. Dark Lear was always a skilled machinist, and the work proved an adequate distraction. So pacified, he listened to what I had to say about my recent travails with the law and pyrospite and what I come for in truth, the treasure he'd been keeping safe from me. Is this supposed to be Equius' ancestor? Because he's a robot dude. I cradled the oracle in my synthetic hand, as if appraising by weight. The mystic qualities it still concealed. With my vision eightfold seared away, I was as blind to its secrets as the old doctor was to its present whereabouts. I learned to keep it cloaked from the awareness of the man who once called me his protege, a backhanded term of endearment from a smug manipulator. Locking his so-called dark pockets was the only gambit I had in countering his milk-tongued doublespeak. The expatriate, for indiscernible reasons, seemed naturally surrounded by such a void in a doctor's awareness, and so was uniquely fit to inherit the orb. The doctor could not see his treasure, nor I into it. I considered what to do with it for a while. Should I find pyrospite by consulting with the oracle, as I'd done so often to steal fortune from my adversaries? I guess exploiting some technological means of gazing through its surface may have been simple enough, but I hesitated. Every expedient granted by its counsel, though never instantly, came at a price. Knowing his nature, I'm surprised I only now recognize it as yet another instrument of his spurious benevolence. Dangerous by way of selective divulgence, the sense of infallibility his oracle brought me was superficial, and in hindsight weakened my readiness. Knowing my fate so far in advance, I took Red Glare's threat lightly. The greatest mistake I have ever made was asking the orb when I would die. But as I revisited the prophecy surrounding this unfortunate query, something struck me. I thought of the man I would have as a matesprit centuries from now, who was said to command an army of beasts, the one it called the Summoner. Jesus, those horns are huge! That must be Tavros' ancestor. If my obsession with the dragon should continue to burn for so long, would he be the one to assist me in taming it? I did not have enough knowledge to ask the right questions when I had the opportunity. Were that the case, I might have asked if it would be his rare abilities of communion that would bring pyrospite under control. Would it be on account of my influence? And if so, would I exert this influence by taking his will, or winning his heart? These are details I would have given no second thought in drawing from the orb. My curiosity a force usually too much to quell. But now, I would have thought of the Summoner often. I have been troubled to know that as one so common-blooded, he could not possibly have hatched yet, nor will he wriggle from the caverns for many sweeps. So I must have patience to take up my role in his story of heroism. It is a tale which reads to me as though lifted from a child's story, yet I know I'd be a fool to doubt its veracity entirely. He would rise through the ranks of the Cavalry Reapers and assume command, having proven the most skilled and fearless of them. He would exhibit a remarkable pupation, the sort only recorded in myth, growing, or perhaps simply revealing, a striking pair of wings. His army thus inspired would spearhead a major rebellion, surely one at least on the scale of the sectarian revolts crushed by the Highbloods, who thereafter forbade its mention, or any invocation of the heretical symbols at all. Why did she use 69 in there? She'll use 8s, I thought. Anyway, even in private journals, which is why I will stick to the fable of the Summoner and not risk another execution with even oblique reference to the compelling tale of the Sufferer. Resolution to the Summoner's mutiny is foggy, as I only understand what has been related to me through the brief answers I thought to solicit. Ultimately, the air of the condens would be such that in the settling dust of the conflict, she would banish all from the homeworld except the young. She would scatter all who reach maturity to the stars to fight her wars. I presume to keep them occupied, existing in a less centralized state from which such a coup may arise. This is still an incredible notion for me to consider, and I cannot imagine how she would come to enforce such an upheaval in our civilization. She's talking about the Empress? Though I suppose she will have on her side the advantage of an unparalleled lifespan, and the leverage extended by the hideous psychic prongs of her deep, indulging monstrosity. That is, until it chooses another little witch to serve. Nevertheless, I take the prediction as truth, and find it amusing that a homeworld dominated by children will be the great Summoner's legacy. One of them at least. More importantly, and less amusingly, his legacy will be my demise. You see, I first learned his name when I asked who would be the one to kill me. Say what, bro? Wait, what's going on here? Is this supposed to do that? What does that mean? Your computer's busted? Maybe get that monitor fixed? Don't know. I have never spoken nor written of him out of contempt for the prophecy, but do so here, in my final entry for this journal, I took this to be a pitiful fate and scoured the orb for any means of escaping it, or at least to salvage a little dignity from the tale of my downfall. Alas, it has no consolation for my vanity, but as I sit here deciding what to do with the damnable little spear, I understand my error. It was not in failing to chart a course through the future events to turn my fortune's tide, even so many sweeps from now. It was in believing the future was mine to know, and fortune mine to control. If this hero is meant to breathe life into my embittered heart, and if he is to earn the right to run it through, then so be it. For him, I will commit to this page my highest expectations, and for what precious uncertainty is left in my future, I renew my vigorous anticipation. The oracle I will resolve to part with, I will conceal it in a crypt bearing the sign of the expatriate, with a map to its location hidden in this journal. To whomever finds it, be wary, for the truth it tells may leave its new keeper blind as I was, though no more. Well, anyway, guys, we will end here before we flip. I assume flip a page. Seems like something's about to happen to Friska. I'm not really sure what the journal is like foreshadowing here. Seems like it's basically paralleling what's happening with the Kitros and their ancestors. And well, clearly Terezi is about to have a showdown with Friska, and I'm actually kind of surprised that it was her that challenged her to a fight, right? That's what the letter was about. I thought it was like Gamzee trying to like trick her into coming, because you know we saw him like being really weird and like shady in that shop as Terezi was doing her investigative work. But I guess it's not him. I don't know what's he doing. I thought he was just hell-bent on murdering everyone, but now he just seems to like messing with Terezi by, you know, just doing weird stuff really fast. Don't understand it. He's a weirdo. He's not our old Gamzee. So Terezi, he is not our precious Gamzee anymore. He only wants to kill us. So don't go near here. But I guess we're gonna have to like switch like stories here and like see where the battle is gonna go. I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna battle. I don't know. I don't know where Kanaya went off to. They're probably in the dream bubble, you know, hanging out with Jade and others, trying to learn about the stuff behind this game. Also, we're like in this 2 now. That is weird. What does that mean? We're in this 2 of like the game now? I don't know, you know, what that means. Is there gonna be like new story mechanics, new crap? We're still waiting for the scratch to happen, still waiting to know what has happened to everyone. We're still in the dark about that. Rose is literally still grim dark in the dark. So much stuff left unanswered, but I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. So I will leave this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.